Coach Carr, are you there? Coach Carr. Coach Carr?
Yeah.
Hey, how about now?
I got it now.
Okay, yeah, it's we're getting into the 21st century here. Thank you.
I'm too old for that. How's that?
All right, good.
All right. Coach, my name is Mark Lindo. I'll be the color analyst for your games this weekend. Congratulations on advancing.
Thanks a lot. Your voice sounds familiar, Mark.
Very good. I don't know where from, but that's good. Jim Blaney's going to do play-by-play. And Casey Standahar will be our sideline reporter. And you'll be doing some interviews with her, so she'll find you. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty big time.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Let's get me, please. We highlight the coaches, obviously, sometime in the first quarter. Can you give me some background on yourself? High school, college, what have you?
High school, Monticello, Illinois.
Yep.
College, Sages, baby. Yep. And college, as a matter of fact, Illinois State.
Got it.
So that'll be fun.
Yep.
I just retired after 33 years in education. I was most recently the athletic director at Newton High School and the boys JV basketball coach. And then this year,
Newton High School?
Yes. And then this year I took the Altamont job.
Not a bad job.
No, really fortunate. Katie, our athletic director, who's sitting next to me, was the former coach, and she resigned to focus on directing athletics.
Who's a former coach? I'll get her name on.
Yeah, Katie Lurkins, Lurkins. She's sitting right here with me.
Hi.
Hi, Katie. Okay, Coach. Before I go any further, we'll get started. Were you able to fill out the form that Matt Trojas sent you, the coach's questionnaire?
Actually, probably not. I don't recall doing that, but I can do it right away.
Katie, do you have that? Yeah, that would really, really be beneficial.
I'll do it. I'll do it right away. Don't worry.
Yeah, and it'd be beneficial to your young ladies too, because all we want to do is highlight them as much as we can. How's that?
Yep. Yeah, that's no problem. I've obviously overlooked it, but I'll do that as soon as we get off.
Yep, we will get this filled out and emailed back to you. Or
Yeah, we'll give it
email
to
it
Matt
back to
Troham,
Matt.
and he puts it. Yeah. Okay, so Coach, let's. Can you give me some comments on, in no particular order, Peyton Osteen?
Yeah, Peyton is just a solid kid who is very fundamentally sound, very intelligent basketball player. She knows what needs to be said at the right times when talking to our team. Just a fantastic leader, and really knows the game, and knows how to play basketball the right way.
Gotcha. Claire, is it Beam or is that how it's pronounced?
It's BAME, like BAME.
BAME pronunciation. Got it.
Yes.
Comments? What's she bring to the table?
She plays with a ton of spirit. Defensively, she has a great ability to get to the spot, both on the ball and off the ball. She has taken 15 charges this year.
Good stuff.
Obviously, she's willing to sacrifice for the good of the group on the defensive end.
So is she playing the paint? Is she your 5 or 4, I assume?
No, she's a guard.
Well, she's a guard. And how about Peyton Osteen?
Peyton's a guard.
Okay. How about let's talk about Reagan King next.
I don't have Reagan King, sir.
Oh, I messed up the newspaper. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Libby Reardon.
Yep. Libby is a junior. Missed quite a bit of time with an injury this year, but has come back for our stretch run and has been, kind of like picking up a piece at the trade deadline, man. She is a fantastic defender. Libby is the life of the party, but very serious when it comes to guarding people.
Okay. Brianna Grunlow.
Yep. Bree is a senior.
She goes by Bree?
Yeah.
Okay.
She is our little bulldog. Love to put her on the other team's best shooter because she will just stay in her shirt as much as possible all night. Has hit some big threes for us this year at crunch time. And just an inspiration as a small kid. She's like, I don't know,
Okay.
5'2", 5'3".
Awesome. Next, that's 4 starters. One more starter, because I had the wrong name on the other one. Who's your next starter?
Grace Nelson. Yeah, you don't want to forget that kid.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have Illinois State 3 times. Yeah, there she's way at the top of my screen. So
Yeah,
I did not forget her.
I know.
She had 34 last night, 12 out of 13 from the line, 2 times. Yeah, I got it. So I got
that
Grace.
was that was this sectional championship last night. I think she had 32 and was 20 for 21 from the line.
20 for 21 in the super section.
And she could have shot 30 if I can say so myself.
That's okay. So what's your comment about Grace with 2,759 points coming into last night?
Yeah.
What superlative can you say about her?
Grace is a humble superstar.
Great.
She is all about winning. She doesn't focus on her stats. She doesn't focus on attention. What she cares about is leading her teammates, taking care of her teammates, and winning basketball games and doing whatever it takes to do that.
Between because your ADs there, how many games do you think Grace has won in her career?
Well, Altamont? she missed like 18 games last year because she tore her ACL.
Yeah, that was ACL. So, I knew she missed.
Yeah.
And then freshman year was COVID year, so her total games aren't going to be that high just because of unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah. Otherwise, she would probably had a bazillion. Okay. Anybody else who's your top 6 or 7? Next 1 or 2, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got 3 more. We got Kylie Osteen.
Got it.
Is a junior. She's an undersized post player who guards the other team's best post player and is very willing to do that and takes great pride in that. And she is a sneaky scorer that really knows when to pick her spots on the offensive end.
Okay. And who else next?
Skyly Klein is a junior who has hit some big shots for us in the postseason has improved a great deal defensively. And, I'm comfortable with her guarding a variety of spots on the floor.
Gotcha. And is there one more you want to mention in your top group?
Yep. Kaylee Lurkins is our most effective post player. Defensively, she has excelled in the postseason. She loves basketball and just loves her teammates and will do whatever she can to help them succeed.
Got it. All right, just real quick, I have two more, and then I'll see if either Jim got back on or Casey. They're jumping back and forth. Just maybe, just one or two sentences on what your philosophy is, both offense and defense. What am I going to see?
We have kind of settled on playing strictly man-to-man in this stretch run, and our kids really understand how to guard according to their assignments. Offensively, we're led by Grace, but the rest of our team, these kids just have a way of hitting shots when we need them to. It's just been that way. We try to, we love to get the ball in Grace's hands in the open floor because she's very effective in that way.
Gotcha.
She's a great finisher.
Thank you. Jim or Casey, are you on yet? Okay, Coach, we have probably about 7 or 8 minutes, so I'll keep going. On that questionnaire, I think there's some things where you can highlight these young ladies, like with multi-sport or academic standouts, or if you put it, like if there's any family connections, things like that. But how about, I know Casey Standahar will be doing interviews with you throughout the weekend, live, like halftime and before the game, things like that. So be prepared for that. And is there any, either one of you contribute any like really cool human interest or community interest or whatever that she can do a sideline story or two on? Anything that jumps out at you guys?
Well, one thing that's, in the front of my mind is obviously Grace is coming back from the ACL, just a really, really committed rehab, and just the way she has bounced back from that is just remarkable. In addition to that, she's gonna play at Illinois State next year, so that's a cool connection. She gets, she was so determined to get our team to Illinois State this weekend. Obviously the Osteens are sisters, very tight pair. They're like twins. I mean, not in the way they look, but just in the connection that they have is incredible. Claire, I think it's pretty remarkable. She's taken 15 charges this year.
Yeah.
And could have gotten a lot, I'm biased, but I think she could have had a lot more. We're small. I mean, that's got to be a story. We are small. So we're always guarding people that are bigger than we are.
So how do you rebound the basketball?
Well, sometimes not very well. We got to be fundamental in our positioning. We've gotten better at boxing out as the season's gone along. We took 3 fan buses to the Super last night. If you want to talk community support, the student body has just been unreal. And I've been at this for a long time, man, 33 years, and I've never seen anything like it.
Hey, Coach, I'm Casey. I'm on the call. I heard all that, so thank you for giving us.
Oh, you bet. You bet.
I'm
Thanks.
here. I'm jumping in and out, so I appreciate it. Can I go back real quick to the Osteen sisters?
Yep.
How does that chemistry between them really help your team? How does that elevate your group if you haven't talked about that yet? Because the connection that they have is important, and your girls have to gel well on the court, off the court. And so being that they're sisters, how does that help?
I would say it's obvious on the defensive end. Even though, again, they're small, but they end up guarding interior players quite a bit. So the switching, the double teaming, etc., the rebounding, it's obvious that they have a connection. And then, I mean, it's just something that I don't have to worry about. They're going to communicate, and they're great communicators with the rest of their team too. That because they support each other so well, I think that lends them to support their teammates.
Cool.
I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we have a kid. I mean, this is just a sidebar, who has really struggled this year emotionally, and Kylie has carried this kid. And I mean, that's what kind of kid she is.
Awesome.
Yeah, don't say that, but you know what I
No,
mean.
I know. I just the fact that the girls are doing more than just, on the court and helping their teammates in other ways. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You guys, you said the community support has been big. Are you getting a group together to head downstate? Is the town shutting down? Anything going on for this weekend?
Yeah. I mean, I think, first of all, Indian Nation invaded Farmer City, Illinois last night. It was a full house, let's just say. I'm glad the fire marshal didn't drop in, because the whole thing would have been shut down. Yeah, the student body, you heard the 3 fan buses, not just high school kids, but junior high kids at parochial school in town. Yeah, it's not just been this state tournament run. I mean, we played Tuscola on January 13th here in a shootout, and they were ranked 4 and we were ranked 5. And Altamont has a nice sized high school gym that holds 1,400 people, and it was almost full.
Wow.
These people in this community really care about girls basketball. And that's a credit to the tradition that's been in place for a long time here. Our principal is a former girls basketball coach. Our athletic director is a former girls basketball coach. So there's a lot of investment there.
Awesome. I love hearing that.
Hey, Craig, Jim Blaney here. Real quick question for you.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through the Twitter feeds for the girls basketball, Grace's Twitter feed actually. Just so she hurt her knee in late January of her junior year. Is that correct?
It was late December. She had surgery in January.
Yeah.
Okay. So was she ready to go when the season started then, or was she still working her way back when you started practice back in the fall?
Let me put it this way. She was cleared for full contact. She was nowhere near herself, but she got to that point very quickly.
I mean, because she really must have worked hard to get that thing back going, because that's an amazingly short time recovery.
Yeah,
she clear to come back.
Yeah, she was obviously committed to being ready day one for practice, and because she knew what this year could bring, especially as a senior. And physically, like I said, she was not herself to start the year, but it wasn't long before she got to that point.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Anybody from other media? We got like 3 minutes. Anybody else there? Otherwise, Jim or Casey, you got more?
Well, Coach, I was just going to ask one more question about Grace. What do you feel like changed and got her there? Like, what was the moment where you were like, all right, now she's back to full form, Grace?
That was defensively, no question. I could tell, I started off the season, game 2, putting her on the other team's best guard. And that was a lot to ask. And about 2 weeks later, I could tell that, she was ready to guard again, like the elite defender that she is. So
Awesome.
Defensively, I could tell running straight line sprinting was not as big of a deal as moving side to side, I don't think. But weeks in to games, she was there as far as lateral movement goes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Last call. Anybody else? There's like 1 minute. If somebody wants to jump in. All right, Coach. Thank you so much. If you can get that questionnaire in and watch your film and have a practice and go down to the tournament or go to the tournament and have some fun. Congratulations.
Hey, we'll do. Appreciate your time and your assistance. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Haley Bowers, are you there yet, please? Casey, you there? Jim, are you there?
Lane, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Lane, it's Dave Bernhard. How are you?
Hey, Dave, how are you? Sorry, I had to wait for someone to cover. Get down for my class. This teaching really cuts into your day.
Oh, what did they make you do that for? I mean,
well, no, it's all right. It's all right. My principal, no, we're just, I teach PE, so I got a bunch of 5th graders running around. So we had to have somebody come in so I could step out. But no, we're good. Whatever we need.
Good deal. I got to tell you real quick. Several years ago, we had a coach that the same situation as you, and he had to kind of stop at one point while we were talking to him because his class across the hall was making too much noise. Nobody was in there, so he had to run across the hall and come back.
Yeah. Tell me. So yeah, these I know. There's fewer and fewer career coaches that are still teachers, but when they are, it's like this is really cutting into my day when I have to teach. So, but no, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm Dave Bernhardt. I'll be doing the play-by-play of your games.
Yes.
Also on the call, Patricia Babcock-McGraw. She's going to be the analyst alongside me. And then Casey Standahar has to be bouncing back between these 2 different calls today, but she'll be on the sidelines and you will interact with her. Just to give you an idea.
Patricia and Casey.
Hello there, Coach.
Hi.
Okay, so here's our timing here. So TV folks, we'll have you till 9:50, and then at that time we'll open it up to the other media on the line for about 5 minutes, and we'll get you out of here before 10 o'clock. So
okay, thank you.
You can get back to whatever job they're making you do right now.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Obviously, an outstanding year and one you saw coming. Before we talk about that, I want to make sure I have your starters right. So if you could run through that starting lineup, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It's been a great season so far. So Julia Mingus, Caitlin Cassidy, Maya Wardle, Emmy Wardle, and Lexi Bear.
Okay. And who would we see come off the bench as part of your rotation?
First kid typically is going to be number 12, Allie Sticklemeyer. Bridget Dooley, 13. Cora Hines, 32. That's about as deep as we've gone in the postseason so far. Abigail Chaddock would probably be the next kid if we needed a spark or, have to, piece the minutes together with foul trouble.
Okay. All right. That's what I had. Very good. So anyway, I made the comment that you kind of saw this coming, but in a way you didn't. It's not just about switching classes. You've got the players you have. Can you explain what you saw maybe the last couple of years and how it is leading up to this year?
Well, yeah. Obviously, when Maya got here 4 years ago, it was the COVID year. We thankfully played 16 games was the full schedule at that point. We were able to play all 16 games. We were 13-3. And then the last 2 years we've been 25-4 and knocked out by, a pretty good Washington team, in the regional finals. So just having the core of kids back between her and Julia, and Caitlin have been 2-year starters with her. We lost 3 seniors last year to graduation, 2 that started. But obviously with the addition of, Emmy Wardle coming in and, Lexi Bear transferring from Richwoods, plus, the bench kids that we mentioned, just, continuing to get better. We felt our top 8, 9, 10 was going to be, really, really strong.
And you've challenged them this year. What a schedule you've played.
Yeah. It's, I know not everybody, but there, there's been some pushback with us dropping to 2A, but, we played 5 2A opponents, in the last 2 weeks in the postseason. I think we had 4 on our regular season schedule. But honestly, we played more state ranked 4A and 3A teams than we did total 2A teams. But we did challenge them. Long story short, we finally were able with the classification drop to not, we talked our AD into not playing the 3 city schools a second time. Thinking, okay, well now we can open it up. We can play some 2A teams just to have some, common opponents. And outside of Eureka, scheduled us, which was great because, they were in our complex. But we really, really had a hard time getting, 2A teams to commit. And it wasn't just, it's not that they didn't want to play us, but scheduling's a mess at times. Trying to find dates with, different conferences, playing different nights, it makes it hard. But it turned out to be a blessing because, being able to, unable to fill 5 or 6 games, we were able to go down and play Alton in Springfield. We were able to go to Vashon to play Lift for Life, who's the top team in Missouri. We got O'Fallon to come. So it worked out. And we have challenged them. I think last night was our 15th game versus a state ranked opponent. So our kids definitely, accepted the challenge of playing the best around the state and, in all 4 classes.
Alrighty, Trish.
All right, Coach, let's go back to your starters. If you could give us a little bit of a nutshell about what makes each player special, what are their best skills, that kind of thing. Okay, well, Maya is if you've seen her, she's a different kind of kid. She's a point guard that can score but would rather distribute and get her teammates involved. But she has the ability to take over games with her scoring, like she did in the sectional final against DMAC. She had 18 at half, ended with 26. She just does everything for us. 14 points a game, 7 assists. She leads us in steals. But honestly, she takes a lot more pride in getting kids the basketball where they can score and be successful, and her defensive intensity. We're blessed to have some very elite perimeter defenders, and she gets us going however she needs to, and she's so good at seeing the floor. Tremendous leader. So she's pretty much the heart and soul of our group. But Julia Mingus, is a career 42% 3-point shooter. She came in as a freshman
late in the season, and she's never been afraid of the big moments. And again, another elite defender. She usually, her and Maya, well, Julie doesn't argue, but sometimes her and Maya come to us about who's going to guard their other team's best player. So it's nice when you have two kids that want to take that challenge. But Julia is a complete two-way player. I mean, she takes no plays off. She's a cross-country track kid, so her conditioning is elite. And she does a lot of things other than just making threes. She's honestly, she's probably our most physical kid, even though she's the smallest of our starters. Caitlin Cassidy on a team of really good athletes. She might be the best one. Her scoring, well, I think we have 4 kids in double figures. So, but all 5 of our starters have gone for over 20 at least once this year. Caitlin's a kid that we count on to kind of patrol the middle on defense with her athleticism and her length. She's over 7 rebounds a game, shooting a high percentage. She can step out and hit the 3. So she, like I said, she's probably our most versatile player, and she's able to, have a big impact on both ends of the floor. Lexi Bear, like I said, an elite shooter. At her size at 6'1", she can, she's got really tremendous range, and at her size, she can get her shot off over just about anybody. We've challenged her this year to play more physical, to add to her game, playing, not back to the basket, but playing inside and being a presence inside. In our postseason run here in 5 games, she's been our leading rebounder. She's gotten more physical, and she's obviously a great shooter, but she's finding ways when her shot is not falling to help us on the defensive end. And so she's really bought into our style of playing defense and competing. And then Emmy's a freshman in name only. Obviously, her and Maya have been around the game a long time. They've played a lot of games, but Emmy, she kind of took over last night late. She's had a couple games where she scored, 20 in a second half. And she's long, athletic. She knows the game, and she on a lot of teams, she'd probably be a 15, 18 point a night kid, but she always makes the right play. Her and Maya, we're taught to play the game the right way, and she's just got a very high basketball IQ and has complemented our other kids, coming into that starting lineup as a freshman.
Okay. And the reserves that you mentioned, and anything about them that stands out?
Well, they all, they know their role. They embrace it. A lot of them would probably play a lot more minutes on a different team, but they come in, they bring energy. They know what they need to do. They don't try to do too much. Allie Sticklemeyer came in, and when we were struggling in the first quarter, hit a huge 3 just to kind of get, stop a little bit of that bleeding. Bridget Dooley, another tremendous athlete. Both of those 2 kids are 6 foot coming off the bench. They run the floor hard. They guard people. And then Cora Hines, the freshman, her minutes been increasing a little bit here late in the season. Another kid that, our first 3 kids off the bench are 6 foot and long and athletic. And, we would not be where we are right now without, the bench, positive bench contributions. And, as a role player, it's not about numbers. It's about giving quality minutes when they're out there. And they've done a tremendous job of that all season.
I'm sorry, Trish, can I sneak Casey in real quick as long as she's stopped in?
I am here, yes.
Go for
Coach, thank you so much. I'm the sideline reporter. My name's Casey. Your opponent called you a perennial powerhouse and a David and Goliath situation. Do you see this matchup that way?
Honestly, 36 games in, our kids' mindset is still about what we have to do to be successful. But I can see, we haven't done anything in the postseason the last 2 years. Our record's been great. But, I guess I see that comparison, dropping down a class. I think we probably would have been pretty decent in 3A, but yeah, I can see, dropping down a class with the kids we have and our depth and length. And, we're not typically built we're not built like a typical 2A team, with our size and length. But, yeah, but at this point, it's, it continues like it has for the last 5 games. It continues to be a 1-game scenario with 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And we're just, as a staff, we're just trying to prepare our kids for the next challenge. And we've got a couple days to do that before Thursday's game.
Sure. I wanted to ask you about anything going on off the court. Any stories you want us to tell about your players, about the team as a whole, things that happen throughout the season. I'm always looking for those fun human interest feature stories as well.
This is my 25th year in girls basketball, and it's a big deal when your kids like each other. Maybe even more so than on the guys' side, but our kids really like being around each other. We do a ton of stuff off the court, team dinners, all that stuff. On a personal note, I'm not sure if you're wearing it. This doesn't have to be a feature at all, but on July 1st, our 17-year-old son, who's a junior at Notre Dame, was diagnosed with cancer. So, I've missed parts of the season. He was in Memphis for 7 weeks getting treatment. I missed 4 weeks during the basketball season. And our kids never missed a beat, and that's a credit to our staff, the people we put in place. But they just, they love playing basketball, but this has kind of given them a little bit of, sense of, hey, what's really important. Now, don't get me wrong. When we compete, and our son Dylan he's on the boys basketball team at Notre Dame, but he comes to all of our stuff, and our kids have embraced, not only him, but just, St. Jude's in general. We have a huge St. Jude's club at Notre Dame. The last 7 years I've been there, it's a strong organization. And like I said, that doesn't have to be part of the story, but our kids, they get it. They know that this is, basketball is important, and it'll play a role in the stuff they're learning, not just on the court and off, throughout their careers. And a lot of them will go on and play collegiate athletics of some kind, but, their focus is still about other people and, promoting and fulfilling the mission of, Peoria Notre Dame High School, which is, just putting others before you.
Sure. Coach, thank you for sharing that story. Can you tell us what kind of cancer it is that Dylan is battling?
Yeah, he's got rhabdomyosarcoma, which is a solid tumor. We're on week 32 of 42 weeks of chemo. Like I said, we're in Memphis from late October to early December. He's doing great. He was 16 with the diagnosis. He's 17 now. To be honest with you, he's handled it a lot better than I would have as a 17-year-old. But no, he goes to school. He's still doing. He dressed for his first game the other night in the regional. He's just trying to be a normal 17-year-old. But everything, all the scans, everything has been positive. But no, thank you for asking, because he's doing great. He's got chemo till the middle of May, and they think between the radiation and the chemo, they're going to get it all, and he's gonna do good things.
Well, that's good to hear. Thank you for sharing. Will he be downstate with you all?
Yeah, Notre Dame actually has finals Thursday and Friday, so I'm sure he will be in attendance.
Okay, great. Thank you.
let me switch this over real quick. We're kind of running a little bit behind. Anybody else on the line right now that would like to talk to Coach Langhoff? And I did pronounce that correctly, right, Coach Langhoff?
Yes, Langhoff. Yes, sir.
Hoff. Okay.
Yeah, the last L is silent. Yeah, so Hoff.
Got it. Thank you. Anyone else that's on the line with us? Real quick before Trish has any other questions. So I haven't looked at Bradley's schedule. Will Brian be in attendance?
You know what? I don't know that for a fact. He was there, but with everything going on, I didn't get a chance to ask him about that. I know they typically play Wednesdays and Saturdays, so I don't know what the timing of that is going to work out for him.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Trish, do you have anything else here before we wrap it up?
And Coach, I'm glad to hear that your son is doing well, and thanks for sharing that story. I really appreciate that. Style of play for you guys, how would you describe your style of play and what's been working especially well lately?
Obviously when we can get into our full court pressure, we've had a ton of success. We play fast. I think we're averaging about 67, 68 points a game on the season. But we like to play fast. Like I said, we've got a lot of scoring options. But yeah, our style of play is to honestly, we just defensively, we just try to speed teams up and make them play, faster than they want to and more uncomfortable. We try to limit, and it's hard this late in the season. Altamont had two really good guards. It's hard to, take kids out of the game, but we try with our perimeter defense. We try to limit their guards from getting them into their sets and running their offense. And but then, anytime we can get up full court, we're going to press in some kind of manner. And honestly, I mean, we're okay in the 5-on-5, but our kids love to get up and get deflections and steals and start our offense in transition. And so yeah, we play fast. But our kids play with high energy and our identity is our defense, either full court or half court.
You seem to be very long, tall, probably taller than most teams that you play. Obviously that comes into play in a pressure situation, but how else have you been able to maximize that height and length?
Emmy being a long guard, with Caitlin and Lexi, when they get in the paint, we challenge our kids to play off 2 feet and go into contact. And, with our size, we're able to do that, more so than maybe if we were, a little smaller. But yeah, our matchups, we played some teams with some length. I know Fremd up at the Christmas tournament was really long. But we want to throw the ball in when we can and get some actions off the low post touches. But, we have a lot of confidence in Caitlin and Bridget, Lexi, Emmy, Cora, all finishing around the rim. And a lot of that is that they have the confidence because they're playing, if they don't have a height advantage, they've figured out how with their athleticism, to get shots off in the paint.
So I'm just looking at how many 6-footers do you have in the starting lineup?
Caitlin's 5'11". Yeah, Caitlin's 5'11". Lexi is 6'1". But then Cora, Bridget, and Allie, the first 3 kids off the bench are all right at 6 foot.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, so we start 2 and then have Caitlin 5'11", 6'1", and then 3 kids coming off the bench at 6 foot.
Yeah, I would imagine that's very disruptive in the press too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean if our hands are up and we're active, we can be very disruptive on defense.
Yeah. And
last question, okay, Trish?
Yep. At the very beginning, you were talking about your schedule. If you could just speak to that just a little bit more in terms of how that's prepared you, and maybe any of those games in particular, the really tough ones that you feel like you kind of have drawn on during the tournament.
Well, yeah, it was loaded. Like I said, a ton of 3 and 4A ranked teams. I think that we lost to Alton twice. We lost to Lincoln. In those games, even, the kids, we lost, but the kids, we saw where we needed to get better. And in those games, it allowed us to compete with the big schools, to play Fremd and to beat Fremd, who's, going to be playing this weekend. To play a normal community, to beat a normal community in O'Fallon. It's given our kids the confidence that no stage is too big. And if we play our game, our kids and our staff feel we're as good as anybody. And our kids have responded to that schedule. They looked at it and they were excited because honestly, this group of kids, starting with Maya all the way down, they want to play the best to see where they're at and to see where they match up. And it's been a great experience for us, for our kids to play in all kinds of hostile environments with big crowds and, playing the state's best teams.
Elaine, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations to this point. We'll see you in a couple days.
Okay. Thank all of you. Appreciate it.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Hello?
Coach Riley, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Good morning, and first off, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Mark Lindo. I'll be the color analyst for the TV part of your weekend. Joining us at some point in this conversation will be Jim Blaney, who's doing the play-by-play, and Casey Standahar, who's doing sidelines and is looking for a couple stories to tell during the weekend. So we'll ask you to help us on that. And she'll be doing some interviews with you, coming off the floor at halftime and things like that. All set?
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So can we first, I have your roster in front of me. I did watch some of your game last night. I think I was trying to watch like 8 games at once, 1A and 3A. So I didn't see everything. Yeah. Let's go down your starters, and I got it numerical. So I guess we talk about your freshman, Ava, first. What can you tell us about Ava?
She's without a doubt probably one of the hardest working kids that I've ever been able to coach. She's been incredibly coachable. Especially as a freshman, she's a little shorter, so she plays like a guard, and she's got a decent shot and decent handles, and is quick, but she also is pretty strong to play in the post. So she's just, you can play her anywhere you need her. But that is kind of a theme with the roster that I've got.
Gotcha. McKenna Yeager?
So she's my captain, senior captain. She is the glue of the team. She does whatever is necessary, whether that's scoring or being the biggest cheerleader. She's done a really good job of making sure that all the freshmen feel included. I got a pretty stacked freshman class, and she's, as a senior, made sure that they felt welcome to the team this year.
Gotcha. Is she going to school anywhere?
She is. She's going to UIS for soccer.
UIS for soccer. That reminds me. Were you able to fill out the questionnaire that Matt Troha sent you?
Yep, I have it almost done, and then we'll send that as soon as I'm done with that. But I can pull it up if you have any questions on it.
No, but I'll tell you what, if I ask you something, just say it'll be on the questionnaire. How's that? If instead of making you double team.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
And that all we want to do there is make it a best broadcast and highlight your kids. Put whatever you can do around your kids, and we'll get it on the air. All the good things, academics, social stuff, extra sports, what have you. So, all right.
Yeah,
how about
I'm
Alexis
just waiting
Newman?
on. She her stats, I think, speak for her. I mean, she is just a heck of an athlete. She's probably too selfless. I wish she was more selfish with the ball, but we have to beg her to shoot the ball, even though she's shooting at 50%. And she just wants to be the best teammate she can be. I mean, she's an incredible kid.
Wow. Okay. Hope Gilmore.
Hope has really started to kind of pick it up here in postseason. I mean, she's come in clutch for us several of our postseason games. Taylorville Regional Championship, she got that steal so we could score off of it. She was huge in the sectional championship game as well. When we were down by 4, she came, I think, went on a 6-0 run, just her. So she's a spark. She gets in there and she just tears things up.
6-0 run, and which game was that she had a personal 6-0 run?
Q&D game, sectional championship. We were down by 4, and she got a couple steals and some baskets for us.
Got it. Okay, let's see. Who else? Who's next? Who am I missing?
Just from the starting lineup?
Yeah.
Or just
that's 4, right?
Hope doesn't actually start for us.
Okay, so give me your next 2 starters then.
Carly Hawkins is number 30.
Yeah, I got her right there. Yep, go ahead.
Yep. So she does a lot of creating opportunities for other people. She's a hard worker too. She's little, but you wouldn't know it by the way that she plays. And then you got Caitlin Lanin.
She your point guard? Is Carly your point guard?
No, McKenna is my point guard. McKenna is. Yep, McKenna Hager.
Got it. Okay. And then Carly, then who else were you going to let me know?
Caitlin Lanin, number 14.
Yep, I got her right here. Okay, comment on her.
So basketball is not her priority. Well, actually, for most of these girls, basketball is not their priority sport, but she's a track athlete. I mean, she's placing in state pretty much every year that she goes in all of her races. So this year she's really blossomed, I would say, as far as, being able to shoot the ball and actually contributing on the basketball court. But she's my best defender that I got out there. So she really makes an impact on the game.
And you'll have some of her track stuff in that questionnaire, I'll bet.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay. Just real quick then, unless you have it on there also, how about a little bit of your coaching background or bio? Like, where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to college? How'd you get into coaching?
I went to Warrensburg Latham High School.
Yep, and you coached
graduated
there.
And then I went to Monmouth College and played there basketball. And then I taught at Rushville for a year and coached at the junior high, but then I came back to Warrensburg and started teaching and coaching. So I've been there, head coach there for 6 years. And then this was my first year at Glenwood.
So what's first year, obviously, to make it to the state finals, when you took the job, did you think about Bloomington normal, or did you just think about trying to have a good season?
No, I mean, honestly, I know that this team was 500 last year. And so I knew that we had some athletes, but my goal was to be 500 and win a regional. So I will take what we've done.
That's good. Well, that'll make the year. Your goal was to win a regional. There you go. That's good. Really good stuff. Offense and defense, what are we going to see on each side?
I mean, offense, comes from our defense. We've said it over and over. I mean, our number one focus and priority in practices and when prepping for games is just defense and how to handle certain situations that the other team's offense is going to throw at us. I mean, we're up in your face, constantly on the go. I've got tons of soccer and track athletes, and so we've got a lot of speed. We're not very big, so we got to use that. And then our offense comes from that. I mean, we play really fast-paced, try to stay under control as much as possible on the offensive end, but really, transition, push the ball. We've got a few sets that we run, but rarely in a game do you see me calling set plays because we're just moving the ball constantly. And I think I've had,
like how many threes?
I don't think it's on the question. I think I've had 9 leading scorers this season.
Yeah, that's good. That is really good. Well, how many threes do you shoot?
A few here and there. I mean, I think last night we had four or five is about what we're getting per game. So not a ton, a lot of layups.
Layups first. Okay. Jim or Casey, are you on yet? Jim or Casey? I'll keep going then, Coach. How about like a key game, a key play, a defining moment of this season?
I mean, I would say that if we're looking at plays, probably the play that won the regional championship against Taylorville. I mean, it's a tied game. Your defense forces a turnover with 8-something seconds left. Well, there's 18 seconds left. They forced a turnover, but we got a foul. Take it out of bounds. Again, 8 seconds left, forced another turnover, and then ended up scoring off of it. And I think that just really showed and proved to the girls that, you know, you can win games because of your defense. And so it was kind of everything that we've been preaching all year long. And I think that was the first, they finally started to realize, you know, how good they could be too.
Okay. Casey or Jim? Jim or Casey? Okay, Coach, like, how about any kind of human interest? Because Casey Standhart does some stories. What you got any good stories of the community or the school or you know, brothers or sisters or anything like that it would be a human interest, where the team hangs out, anything like that?
I mean, not really. We hosted a cancer awareness game where we raised about $3,600 and gave it to the Springfield High School's coach, half of it, and then the other half we gave to another local family. But I'm not really sure what else, you know, there is really there.
Well, that's good. So that aided 2 families.
Yep.
Fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what else. I would assume that it's usually my job to pick a featured player on the Open. Would that be McKenna? Okay. Just want to make sure that was good with you.
Yep.
And anything else that you can share with me right now, and obviously things are recorded, that would help our broadcast or expose your team, you know, give you exposure to your team?
I mean, not really. I think some of those other things are going to be on that questionnaire. I mean, we've done a lot of things. Like this is, you know, first appearance in state for school history. We broke the school record last night for most wins in a season. So we're doing a lot of things. This is only the 4th time that we made it to a super sectional, and the first time obviously that we won it. I will say last night, I mean, McKenna is definitely a key player, but, you know, out of your 45 points, 34 of those came from freshmen, and 25 of your rebounds came from freshmen. So, you know, that we're not going anywhere for a while. So
that is absolutely amazing. That's a good stat. Makes you smile right now. You're not taking a vacation for the next few years. You're not taking a vacation for the next few years. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're going to be around for sure.
Hey, Alyssa, this is Jim Blaney here. Pardon me for asking a coach that's probably better directed to the track coach, but I'm internet surfing here. What are the events that Caitlin runs in track? Do you know?
Yes, she runs the 100, 200, 400.
Because I also saw on, and we all know everything on the internet is true, that she runs the 800 occasionally too, which is just insane. Because I always tell people, like, the 800 is the race for the real athletes. I mean, I'm assuming she just got to be a phenomenal athlete with a motor that just doesn't stop.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm pulling her out, it's because we've got, you know, we got pretty banged up in the last couple of games, some ankle injuries and some things like that. Otherwise, or she's in foul trouble. But she's incredible. I don't think she's ever been valued on the basketball court until this season, but she is one heck of an athlete.
Thanks for answering my question. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So whose ankles are dinged, but everybody's healthy, right? But who's nursing ankles?
Oh, we're all nursing something. I got McKenna's nursing a shoulder. She's been nursing that probably all postseason. It's really,
Yep.
She took a hard fall at one game. I couldn't even tell you what game it is, but she's got taped and patched and iced and everything. Hope Gilmore went down in the sectional semifinal game on her ankle. She sat the rest of that game, but she's been back. Kate's ankles are both, swollen. Alexis Newman's got a wrist that's been bothering her. So I could go on and on with injuries. We've only had 5 games this whole season where I've had a full roster. So it's been a lot of injuries.
Wow. Yet you were able to persevere. That is nuts.
Yep.
That is nuts. That shows
Yep.
up. That's why your freshmen had to step up early, right?
Yes, exactly.
And they did.
Exactly.
All right. Is there any other media that you got 5 minutes? Any other media? Newspapers, radios, anybody else there? And I'll try one more time. Casey, are you there? Okay. Jim, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Coach, thanks so much and really good luck to you. Enjoy the blur of the weekend. How's that?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a great one and good luck. We'll see you on
Thank
Thursday,
you. You
I guess.
too.
Oh, Friday. We'll
Okay.
see you on Friday. That's Friday. Thanks.
Yes.
All right. Be
Yep.
good.
Yep. Bye.
I think this was the slowest those questionnaires came out from coaches.
Yeah, some of them are in there, and some of them are not.
That's why I've continued to ask them, please send it in. Better late
Yeah.
than never or whatever.
Well, as you've told a couple of them, there's so many other things they've got going on too. So it's.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. But I've always said other years too, I mean, just in general, give it to your sophomore coach or your freshman, honestly, say, fill this out for me and get it done. Then you don't have to worry about it because they do have more to worry about. But somebody else could, there's a whole bunch of people on the staff that could do that, on the coaching staff that would know all that information. Taylor Rohr, is that you?
It is.
Hey, roll on Blackhawks. How's that?
Perfect.
Maybe Neil Ormond will do your game instead of Jim Blaney. I don't know. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, Jim Blaney's on the line. He's doing play-by-play like last year. I'm Mark Lindo. I'm doing color analyst like last year. And Casey Standhar's doing the sideline. So you know the stick like last year. How's that?
That sounds great.
So thanks for doing the questionnaire. If there's anything else that you want to add to that, just if you say, oh, I wish I would have told Jim and Mark such and such, just shoot it to Matt Trohan, and he'll forward it to us. If there's anything else you want to get in, how's that?
Sounds great. It will do. Thank you.
Okay, so let's we'll start with like your personnel. So if we can go through your starters, and obviously if you could give us some indication, describe what they do for your team. How's that? You want to start with Becca, or who you want to start with?
Yeah, I can start with Becca. Becca is, probably one of our top 2 players. She's arguably one of the best athletes in the state of Illinois. She does a lot for us. She's our second ball handler. She's got a sweet little jump shot. She's, I believe, second in rebounds on our team. She kind of does a little bit of everything for us. Where she's most powerful is in the short corner, because she's got, that nice little drive and jumper. And then I have 2 shooters. The first one is Terrence Stolzenberg, which is number 1. And like I said, like Taryn is one of our shooters, and she's also like our defensive specialist. She does a really good job of on-ball defense, of help side defense, and I always know when she's on the floor, like we're going to get really great defense out of her. Jenna Bowman would be our other shooter. Prior to last night, I believe she had 66 threes on the season. She set a couple records last year for our school from the three. She actually plays out of position a lot for us. She starts in the 4. So she, in our zone, she plays down low, and she's small, but she's tough as nails. And she's a real go-getter. And then my other down low player would be Tori Garrett. And Tori, again, is a really great defender for us. She's a great role player for us, where she, it distributes the ball. If she gets it in the middle, if she gets it on the post, she's able to, make that layup. And she plays really great defense on the other team's post players. And then my last starter would, of course, be Chloe Froby. And, she's just.
So she's starting this weekend, huh?
Yeah, she's going to start for us this weekend. She does it all. She's just a generational player, and she's real special. She scored over 3,000 points in her career. I believe last night she scored her 1,000th point for the season, which would be 2 seasons in a row now. She has scored 1,000 points. She's just phenomenal, but she doesn't only score. She brings the ball up for us. She distributes the ball. She's a team player, and her teammates get great looks because she creates for them, and she's a defender too. She doesn't just play on the offensive side of the ball. She's arguably our best defender, and I can move her anywhere because of her size. If I need her to play down low, I can do that. If I need her to play up high, we do that. Wherever our need for defense or offense is the greatest, that's where she goes.
So I'm going to stop you right there. You said generational player, and anybody that's coached has their. But I mean, what's it like to know that, like, you've never had somebody before, and more than likely you never had anybody against that? Like, what's it like to coach her?
It's definitely a privilege, and I think that it's a once in a lifetime thing. It's not every day a player walks through the doors in the small town of Lincoln with her talent, her skill, her work ethic. And then on top of that, her humbleness and her unselfishness. She's just a team player through and through, and she's a really great kid, and she is the ideal role model. And she's the kind of kid that you hope that your kids grow up and kind of be like, because she just is really special off the floor, just as she is on the floor. And I think that that's one of the greatest parts about coaching her.
Gotcha. Anybody else off the bench? Because I know you play so many because you've been ahead so many times, but like, who would be like like your next 2 or next 1 off the bench when the game's still close?
I'd say that my next one off the bench is usually Piper Whiteman. She's kind of she's a utility player. If Chloe is, in foul trouble, knock on wood, or, Becca or something, Piper can fill that role, but she can also fill the role of, playing in the post. She always gives us quite a mismatch because she has the ability to attack against a big, but also the ability to shoot outside. And so she is a really powerful player for us, and she does get a lot of minutes. She's got a great shot. She's got a good attack, and she's really tough underneath the basket, and she understands the game really, really well. So she fits right in with those first 5. And then lately, I'd say my next one off the bench is probably McKinley Knapp. She's our other junior, and she is a big. She's probably my only true post player, and she does a really nice job of occupying a space, banging in the post. She can knock down a 15-foot shot. She can knock down a layup, but, she knows how to clear the area for, a Becca Chloe drive.
Gotcha. Okay, so your 1-2-2 press. I mean, obviously it's a vaunted defense. Where did you learn that, or how do you believe in that, or how do you teach that throughout your program and your system?
Well, I got started on it when I moved to Lincoln. I had always been kind of a man-to-man gal, but when you live in Lincoln, you learn the 1-2-2. And so I bought in, and I bought into it, and my kids bought into it. And, that's something that we never sleep on. We do that every single day in practice, is our press and our half court defense. And we have to make adjustments to it here and there. And it's just who we are. And so we pride ourselves on great defense. And, it's not all the time your offense is working for you. I would use last night as one of those examples, but our defense was working for us. And because the kids went out and, they're bought into the defense we play, and they played hard, and, they prepared for the other team, and they were able to play great defense and stop them from, scoring on us.
Yeah, you hold a team of 24, you got a pretty good chance. So, hey, I apologize because I should have this from last year, and I guarantee you Jim does, but I can't find it. You went to West Aurora, then you went where to college?
I played for a couple years at Central Methodist University, which is in Fayette, Missouri. And then I transferred back home, and I finished my degree at NIU, and I started coaching at Rosary High School with Dave Bede.
Yep. Gotcha. I do remember that, but I couldn't find it, and I apologize.
No,
So,
it's all good.
Jim, go ahead.
Going back, I just got to tell you this, Taylor. Doing that semifinal game last year, I have never had my attention so divided between my face in the record book and trying to watch what was going on the floor. It was an amazing performance. I'm assuming that didn't surprise you at all, and I'm assuming that the person who was least surprised at all was Chloe. But I've done NBA games, and I've never seen somebody just, didn't even look like she was working that hard. It was just everything. She looked in the zone. I mean, am I right on this, or it was crazy?
I would say that you're 100% right. I think that, she makes it look easy on the floor, but because she works so hard off of the floor, that's why it looks so easy on the floor. And I just think that when she sets her mind to something, it's going to happen. And I think that she had set her mind in that game that, we were going to make it to the state title game. And she came out, and she did everything. And, and her teammates, she pulled them right along with her. And she knows, she's such a special kid. She knows like how valuable her teammates are. And because, Jenna knocks down a shot or Becca gets a jumper, that opens it up for her. She understands the way that works. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't even realize she had hit 40 points until the crowd started chanting she has 40, because they were a quiet 40. They weren't a forced 40. Yeah. They weren't a selfish 40. They just happened naturally.
As far as the team though is concerned, there's one more step. And obviously the team has rolled through the season. How much of the emphasis on everything you do is like, okay, we need to get that one more win. We need to get that one more.
We have that end goal of, our slogans on the back of our warm-up shirts. It says one goal, but every game is a big game. And so we don't take anybody lightly, and we show up and we prepare for every single game. And because we do that, it helps us be successful in games where teams throw something different at us, or teams change it at halftime, because, we have already prepared at some point in time to see that. And so this season, we tried to schedule some tough games, O'Fallon, Normal Community, Alton, those are really great teams, and they have helped us to become a better team. Peoria Notre
Because I think
Dame,
everybody assumes when you have a season like you had last year, oh, you're going to get right back there next year. You as a coach and you as a player know that doesn't happen. So you go a little bit deeper into the things that you've done to make sure they understand that, hey, every practice, every game is part of the entire process with the overall goal of getting to where we're going. But if we don't take care of our business on the floor in practice today and in the game tonight, that you do have to keep, it's a cliche, but how do you keep them focused on that? Okay, the next thing we got to take care of is this, what is right in front of us.
Well, I think that is what makes this team so special, is because I don't have to force it. They want it. They know what's at stake every time they step on the floor. They know what the end goal is. And because of that, they show up focused and ready to go every day. I don't have to force it. That's just the nature of this group of kids, and that's why they're so special. And they knew it was going to be harder this year. You don't go back to back. It's too hard to go back to back. And so to be able to do that and go and make it back, to state again, is just an incredible accomplishment by my kids. And it just shows, the focus and the work that they put in. And it's not because of anything I did. It's because of them. It's because they wanted it. They stayed focused, and they, did what it took.
Thanks.
Well, Coach, what do you think of the fact that this year, though, I mean, you really haven't been quote unquote tested. Does that concern you that you have won by such big margins?
I mean, I don't think that it worries me, because I feel like we have been tested. Peoria Notre Dame gave us a great game, and so did Alton, so did O'Fallon. We have even Pleasant Plains gave us a tough game. A lot of times the scoring margin doesn't show the whole story. Eventually we did pull ahead in a lot of games, but teams threw a lot of different things at us. And I think that because of that, that helped us to prepare. I would say that we were definitely more tested this year than we were last year. We had a really big target on our back, and everybody that played us came out to beat us. And everybody that played us gave us their absolutely best game.
Thank you. Any other media on for Coach Rohr? Newspapers, radio? Casey Standahar? Darius, you there?
I am, but I'm all good. Thank you.
You're all good? Taylor, anything else that you want us to get on, or are we good?
I think we're good. I appreciate it.
Hey, Taylor, real quick, one question. Did you go to watch Becca run at the state cross country meet this year by chance?
I did not. I was actually on I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the flu last night.
Oh no.
But I know it's just one of those things. But I did not. I actually met her back here. When she arrived back, my son, when he was born, I had scheduled like pictures like every 3 months or whatever, and his pictures were that day.
Oh, okay.
But after his photos, and we knew that she was a state title, that she had won the state title, my son and I both, we met Becca back here at the high school to celebrate her.
Yeah, the reason I asked is I looked it up. She won by 0.05 of a second.
Yep.
I mean, that's
pretty incredible.
That's flip a coin. I mean, that's unbelievable. So, okay. Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing your team play again, because it was really fun to watch them last year.
Thank you.
Absolutely.